Hello my YouTube friends, this is Mia Vibes. Today I have a brand new video for you, and this video is going to be all about these beautiful junk journals. If you are new to my channel or if you are not familiar with this kind of video, in this video I will basically show you and tell you some details about these junk journals that I made for sale for my Etsy shop called Feel Good Parcel. I recently did this kind of video, and thank you guys so much for all your support. That day I just reopened my shop after taking a break for about a week, and it was my first break since the mid-December last year. So I didn't know what to expect, but the journals that I showed you last time got sold out super fast. If you're watching, the customer, you know I'm talking to you right now. Thank you so much. And also you guys bought all the bestseller items and everything. I am currently just preparing some stuff for the shipping. So if you have your order with me from Monday, Tuesday, or today, I will be shipping out those orders starting from tomorrow. So hopefully you can get them safely and also fast. If you guys are ready, I'm ready. Let's talk about these journals. As you can see, I have 4 journals here, and these two have the similar covers from the journals that I listed on Monday. And these are just some different covers. I'm so glad that I saved all these covers from the vintage music books. If you are not familiar with these paper, these are from old music booklets. So I used all the music sheets inside the book for ephemera packs and for journals and stuff like that, and the covers were leftovers, but they were just so pretty because I really like all this kind of like vintage design that they have on the cover. So, and sometimes there's some random marks, and I have really interesting things to show you today. So let's just go with something we are familiar with first. These two I had the same covers in my last journal, so let me go from this one. Guys, I'm just going to explain everything. Even though you're familiar with this, there could be some people who are not familiar with junk journals, or like maybe this size or anything like that. Even though I have subscribers and viewers who know what exactly I'm doing, but still let me just explain real quick for the beginners, since we were all beginners at some point, right? So this is a junk journal insert for a Traveler's notebook standard size. This is the current one that I am using, and these journals that I made today, these are supposed to be like this journal. This is my junk journal insert that I made like a month ago, and these are like, if you are trying to find something like this on my shop, the name is going to be really random junk journal, because usually when I make junk journals I have some kind of theme like floral or neutral, usually neutral. But when I made this junk journal, I just decided to do it on Instagram live, and I just had this beautiful music book cover, so I decided to use this one, and I just used random papers. Basically, this paper that I used at that time, these were just from like my desk, random scraps and random paper. But since that was for me, I could just use whatever paper. Here we have really similar concept, but the papers are actually not just like a really random from my desk. I chose and picked the paper that I wanted to use, and also I tried to, there's no theme, but I tried to make the journals kind of, how should I say, like make them for sale, you guys. Not just for myself, but I also decided to use a lot of styles that I am currently using. So I will just tell you throughout the process, and you guys probably already know what I've been liking, because I always talk about all this kind of stuff all the time. So the first one that I have here, the cover is again the music book cover, but this time when I cut the cover, I was lucky because I got some pieces from the spine. As you can tell, this is the book spine, but instead of just cutting it off, I trimmed these sides because the book cover was like a little bigger. So I have these these strips here. So I trimmed this side, and I decided to just like leave it here. It may fall off while you're using this journal depending on how much you love it, but I just decided to leave it here because this was very interesting. And again, we have this back cover, and I showed it to you last time also, but I just love this publication company logo. Inside the journal, I decided to enhance the spine like always do. Even though this is a thicker paper, this book cover, but still, because this is really old, sometimes when I fold the paper, I can already see, wow, this paper is like, it can break if the journal gets really full, or if I mean, depending on how I make the, like, poke the holes or go through the paper with the needle and the string, it could break. Then I definitely try to be safe, so I decided to put some washi tape here to make sure that the holes are not gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger, and the journal is gonna break. So that's just something I like doing when I make journals with vintage paper. And even though this is a little thicker paper, I decided to put a craft paper here. It's not a cardstock, but I thought that this could kind of give you some extra support. And in the back, of course, I have the same paper, and I hid a little goodie bag in here, and I will show you in a little bit like what's inside. And the first page that I use here is the vintage interior magazine page. I just love using this, and whenever I rip them from the books, like whatever paper, whenever I have to rip them from the books, well, sometimes depending on how the books are, like how the book is bind, I have to use the paper cutter sometimes, but a lot of times I just rip it off, and I like to leave these edges like this. So you're seeing it all. I have like a whole bunch of them, so I like leaving edges like this so that it can look a little, I don't know, fuller and more vintage. It's just some little trick that I like to do to my journals as well. So hopefully you like this style too. And here we have this coffee dyed cream paper, and I have a small piece of Franken-Page paper scrap here. So I used some Franken-Pages in this journal, in this batch, so you'll be able to find it there. But because I made the Franken-Pages really big when I first made them, of course I had to trim the papers down to the right size for the journal. And then whatever was left, I decided to just give it to you. These are not the same. This is not from the Franken-Page from your own journal. I just decided to kind of like mix it up so you can have some more variety on your papers. And I wanted you to just take a look at it, and maybe you will, you know, use it in this journal. Maybe you can make it as a page, or you can just play with this. You can tear it off and do completely different things, but I just thought that it would be nice to include something like this. And throughout the journal, just like I did last time, I just included some kind of like little ephemera and paper scraps. All the paper scraps that came out from making all these journals, I use them really, really well. I don't waste them usually, but recently, I mean, starting from this week, right, I am trying to just give you guys more papers, and I think that it would be nice to have some kind of blank papers or random ephemera. So, I mean, because we all love ephemera, guys, right? So I'm just trying to include the paper scraps from these journals in your junk journal as well, so you can have more paper. So yeah, and just like this, I mean, just like last time, with this coffee dyed paper. Instead of soaking the whole sheet in the coffee, I decided to do some stamping with the coffee cup. This wasn't the coffee cup, but I used other coffee cup and other coffee, and I just went like this and I just dried them real quick. And I really like this look. Hopefully you like this sound and the feels as well. I hope you like it all. And I have some music paper, and guys, this paper is gorgeous. This is my Muji letter pad paper. Yeah, it's Muji letter pad paper that I cannot buy anymore because last time I checked, it was recently, they are not selling this anymore. But you know, like Muji USA website is really bad with like stocks. That's how I feel. Or maybe everything sells out super fast. So every time I try to shop there, there's nothing much to really buy except for a bunch of different kinds of notebooks. But anyway, I'm sad that I'm using this up, but last time I coffee dyed this paper and it was super interesting, so I just basically did the same thing, and it's definitely some interesting paper. I don't know what it is, but this just feels really nice. And on this side, I have these beautiful, cute illustrations. This is a book page from a book that tells you how to make pillow covers and sofa covers and stuff. So I decided to just use this because the illustration was really nice. Sometimes I like to use those. And this is from the like a children's writing practice tablet. I just use this so I can give you some blank page. And I have this page here. This is from like a problem solving book. So basically it tells you how to solve any everyday problem. And this book is not super old. It's a little bit aged. I can see like it was turning yellow and stuff. But the paper is really nice, and also the illustrations that they did in the book was very, very nice. That's why I bought it at the thrift store. And you have some cute flower illustration right here. And last time I made this oldie grocery book journal, and I just had fun, and I just really like touching this paper. And some of my awesome Patreon members told me that their local grocery stores do not give you the paperbacks like this. So I thought that this was gonna be interesting to add as a page in case you cannot find any paper like this around you, or if you're interested in saving the earth just like I do. So we're just making little efforts like this, you know, guys. So it has like the shop's print and stuff, but hopefully it doesn't bother you, and hopefully you like this page. This is one of the reasons why this journal is extra junky and extra like, I don't know, it has extra like used look because of this kind of pages. And also it's very thick too, so hopefully you like this paper. And I have just little ephemera from Parcel paper pack, and I just put it here. I didn't glue it down or anything. You can do whatever you want with this. And this is a small book page. I was collecting some book pages with almost like nothing, no prints on, because sometimes I make like a white junk journals with all the white pages like this. But this time I decided to use some of the pages that I saved for a long time, and I tried to do some coffee stains, so it's kind of like yellowish here. And the next page is the Franken page. So I thought that it would be nice to add a Franken page like this, because that way you can, first of all, you can have more variety of paper in your journal. That's one thing I really want to do, especially like if you are a beginner, maybe you're not familiar with all kinds of different paper and stuff like that. And also maybe you're not sure how you should do a collage and stuff. But basically, Franken pages are the papers that has like a bunch of collaging on it. That's how the whole sheet was made. It was little, paper scraps, but then I decided to glue them like this so that it can become a bigger paper. So maybe you can get some inspirations. And also this is just interesting because I am sure not a lot of junk journals, especially the junk journals that are for sale, have like a Franken pages. So this is just something that we don't see a lot. And when I found out about Franken pages like for the first time months ago, it was just so fun. So I'm just spreading some paper love here, guys. Hopefully you'll like it. You can definitely cover some of this up if you don't like, but you can keep it like this, or you can journal in the empty spots here and there. And on the back I gave you some blank pages so that you can go in and just write. And this is another piece that I had from your journal, guys. So this is the craft papers, this was the piece that was right here, but I decided to just add it here so that you can tear it off and use it for whatever, or you can make a little page. I have those pages in my Travele'rs notebooks. I mean, I've shown this to you guys many times, but like this kind of stuff, that's all those pages, guys. But it's just, it looks so nice and I love it. Look, this is like little pages that I made. I was looking for those blank pages, but of course I used them all, so I didn't have any more. But this is just something I like doing, so I'm just trying to sell something I like. And I have some other kind of paper. This is also coffee dyed, and I have tracing paper, and there we have a small piece of map. It says Queens, so it's from New York. This is Manhattan. And guys, I can show you something right here. Hold on, I can show you something. Where is this? Where's Flushing at? Oh, maybe it's not even here. No, okay, Flushing is right here. Guys, I used to live here, New York, Flushing, New York. So I take the train number 7 and I go all the way to the Times Square. Is this? This is Flushing. Yeah, but I can take the train all the way to the Manhattan, and I used to live in Queens. So this is like really nice. Oh my gosh, I should have kept this to myself, but too late. And this is the other side of the tracing paper, and the other side of the coffee dyed paper, and the other side of the Franken page. This one has the tracing paper here, so it's kind of interesting. And this is little book page with some coffee stains here. And this is from the magazine that I use in this book, like this. But this is not from this exact page. But I just had the extra, I just of course kept the scraps, and I decided to just give it to you so that you can do whatever, because this is just all really interesting to me. And this is the other side of that shopping bag. Yes, and this is also from one of the pages that I used in here, and I decided to do some stamping so that you can just have some kind of design, you guys. I didn't want to give you a bunch of blank pages, blank papers, so you have it, but I tore it because it was too tall. So actually all this stuff that I added, you can see it very well when you close the journal. It's just all here. And this is the other side of that problem solving book page, and we already know this. See, I told you this is cute. Because this paper had kind of like this red pink line, I decided to put this page right here so they can kind of match. That's something I always do whenever I make journals for sale. If there's any colors that I can match like next to each other, then I will put the pages like that. That's why sometimes it takes me so long, because I don't know where exactly to put the papers. I want to make them look good. Like, for example, like Like for me, this looks good. For me, this makes sense. That's why I put it there. But like, I don't know, there are certain things that I wouldn't do for my journals, but that's just how my brain works, guys, sometimes. And we have another cute chair here, and this is another little piece of paper party pack ephemera. And this is the other side of that Muji letter paper. And I have this piece of random tracing paper. This was also from making these journals today. And I have this music paper, but it has some kind of stain, but I thought it was interesting, so I kept it here. Like you can see this. I don't know what it is, but this is just really old and nice. Cream paper, vintage magazine, and all these like the cute patterns. I just love looking at this. I always like looking at cute patterns, so I just kept it here. And this is the back page, and let me show you what's in here real quick. I mean, I don't want to take it out because it was hard for me to put them in there. I have like a one piece of, it's just like a feel good parcel to-do list, just one piece, and some tickets and the message strips and some vintage stamps and one Dymo strips, so you can peel off the bag and you can use it. And I decided to give you a little something extra so you can have it all here. That was the first book, and it was freaking long, guys, right? But the next ones are gonna be just easier for me to explain because the papers are pretty much the same. Here's the second one. It looks really similar to the first one, but it's a little different. Everything else is the same. I have the goodie bag in here, and also I did the spine here as well. Same kind of papers. I love this page so much. This is just so fun, and this is extra junky because of this like piece sticking out like this. And little ephemera, blank paper, and this is the design on this book from that pillow cover book. And pink and pink matching. Small blank book page with coffee stain. Hopefully you can see this. And blank paper. This is another piece of Franken paper. I love using music paper in the when I make the Franken pages. So it's nice. And this is the Aldi grocery bag. And the map. This is Bronx. This is still New York, guys. And more coffee dyed paper. And this one says today. And problem solving book. And I didn't want to like separate this picture. That's why I decided to put this page in the very center so you can have it. I really like this page because it has a lot of illustrations. And this is a piece of Franken page that I added in this journal. And this is the vintage magazine. I love this red so much, so I think that you can definitely use it for really beautiful collaging if you like red. And that's the other side of that Franken page. I love it so much. And this is more of the little book page with the coffee stain. It's so lovely, so cute. And the Muji paper, and this is just random blank tracing paper, music. This one says mindfulness. And that was the second one. Well, this one has really interesting stamping here. So I could have cut this side to trim the book cover, but I didn't. And this one is currently falling off, so it may be not there when you get it, but I just like love leaving everything. And that was the second book, and this is the third one. It's green. Do you like this color, guys? Hopefully you like it. And this is green, and this is also a music book, some kind of keyboard music. And this paper is really good. To be honest, for this cover, I just did the spine just because I did it to the other ones too. Because this book is not, I mean, this cover is not really damaged or aged. It's just really nice. And let me just do the flip through real quick. Pretty much the same things. Tracing paper, music, little ephemera, Muji paper, and I just love this look, the whole thing right now. I can already imagine how beautiful it's gonna be when you journal here because of this paper and this pattern. I feel like these are matching. This like a music, I don't know, symbols and the pictures. Just my imagination, guys. Oh, okay, and this is really nice too. And this is a problem solving book. This is also blank book page. It's really blank. I think this paper has nothing, like no prints at all. This is coffee dye, so it has like stains. And we have a Franken page with some interesting, there's some poems, and there's an interesting donkey picture. And it was hard for me to fold it because I just, like, so many paper scraps were overlapping right here, but I did it, and it's actually really thick and nice. More coffee dyed paper, and this is from a vintage magazine, the Interior magazine. It's really nice, you guys. Oh, everything about this book, like these journals, is New York. I think even these ones, they say New York somewhere. These are made in New York or published in New York or something, guys, I think. And I have tracing paper. This is not New York map, but this is some other map, like Alaska or something. I don't remember. And we have this beautiful piece from the grocery bag. And I really, really like this. Really like this. And just blank paper. Tracing paper, coffee dye paper, more blank paper for you. And oh my goodness, guys, this is one thing I really love about old music paper. They always have these like cute numbers. I don't know what that means, but they always have some kind of numbers on the bottom. So I just love using this. Every time I can like collect it, when I journal, if I can find it around me, I use it right away. Here, look. I told you, I don't know why they have this kind of numbers on the bottom. But yeah, that's just one of the numbers. And I love these Franken pages. It's like so much collaging. And a little ephemera. Franken page piece, simple. It's a gorgeous, like a real dark coffee dye paper. But I used it here. And this blue and this blue, they were matching, so I had to use these papers next to each other. And again, this look is gorgeous, guys. This is like yellowish tones with the music symbols and this paper, coffee stain and everything. I just love it. And this chair picture is really nice too. And some more interesting pictures. Oh, and this one says True Heart. True Heart is one of my favorite dances on my video game Fortnite. There's a True Heart dance. There's like a K-pop dance. So this like my character does dance moves like a K-pop dance, like a Blackpink dance. So I just decided to write that. It's just something cute. So that was the third book, and we have the last one to go. And this one is, guys, this one is so precious. Whoever guessed this, thank you. And let me show you something extra. Not really extra, but this book, I had to make the cover this way. I mean, usually I use it like sideways, but I had to use it this way because this, oh my goodness, where did it come from? Okay, let me find the, okay, safe spot too. This was, guys, like this, but as you can see, this was like, this part was already torn, and actually in the back, it tears, the tearing begins from here, but it's just a little bitty. So if you mind this kind of damages and aged like paper, this is definitely not for you. But this is so beautiful, guys. Look, inside there's little really pretty frame in here. This is something I really like looking at, and I didn't have a lot of things to fold in, but I still did some folding so that you can at least, like, if you can hide a lot of things, at least you can use it as like, I don't know, bookmarks, because that's how I use my folded parts from junk journals sometimes. So hopefully you'll like this still. But this is just so beautiful. I wish this was on this side, but still the paper is really thick and old. It's just really old, and I love seeing these old designs and stuff. So let's take a look at it. And inside here I put the washi tape just like the other ones, and the same as the other ones. And this is also a piece of the Franken pages, but this one has only 2 different kinds of papers. You can kind of see it was collaged before, but hopefully you can maybe use it for something. This was from like a large, like a huge photograph, like the size of like 2 letter size papers. But anyway, oh, it has a really thick, I mean strong coffee stain, and we have more coffee stain paper here, music and little ephemera, and this chair book, really cute, and again blue and blue. And I decided to just put this paper here. And this is really funny, the pizza girl. I don't know what she's doing. Is it for Halloween? Oh, costumes probably. Pizza costume, that's nice. And we have this coffee dyed book page here, and this is the vintage magazine piece, and all the back Franken page. This Franken page was interesting because there was a whole thing of doily stock on it, so I didn't glue it all the way down just because it's really hard to do so, but I just wanted to make some different kinds of Franken pages, so that's what I did. It's kind of really nice. It's kind of, yeah, it looks really pretty. And coffee dyed paper. This is Greater New York, Manhattan. If you like New York, I love New York. Another piece of ephemera. And this is the other piece of the Franken paper. Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing as the last one. And this is really funny. And the tracing paper and pink matching colors. I could have done this side too because it has blue. and this one says self-love. So these are the flip throughs of all the 4 journals that I'm going to be listing today. Hopefully you'll find them interesting, and I really appreciate that you watched this video. Even if you're not purchasing, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, you can definitely leave a comment down below, and I will talk to you guys later. Have a good day and bye.